be selfish. I think we've talked about being selfish to take care of yourself, hit your goals. I think it's going to be the theme for at least the first half of 2018. Being selfish for yourself. It's not a bad thing. It's not bad to do those things. And if you guys watched the podcast from this past Friday, Eddie was on there. He stopped in to share his success with the 60 day, how it helped, how he perceived what was happening around him, the obstacles that he had. And the reason why we had him on there is to show you that everybody has obstacles, everyone has issues, everyone has hurdles they need to overcome. So what we want to do is get you guys really thinking about what's going on in your lives that you can kind of either cut out or alter to help you get from point A to point B. Want to go through some different things as far as why you should take control of your own life, because no one's going to do it for you aside from that, but some other stuff there. So that was the whole point behind that podcast that we did on Friday. Hopefully you guys watched it. Hopefully you guys liked it. Let us know. We're also going to do something with one of our 60-day winners here, in-club winners here, shortly, just to do the same thing. What are these people doing that's so different? Because we all have goals. We all have things that we want to accomplish. What's stopping us? What's stopping us from getting from where we are to where we want to be? What does that hurdle look like? And why is it a hurdle? Why is it stopping you? So the big theme for 2018 is being selfish. The big theme is taking care of yourself. And the other thing you want to think about is it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be strenuous. It doesn't have to be tedious to take care of yourself. It doesn't have to be that overwhelming of an issue for you to put yourself on the forefront of everything else. If you're in business and you want to get ahead in business, you do what you have to do to succeed at those goals. If you're in a sales position and you have a goal of selling 10 units, whatever those units are, 10 shares a month, you do what you got to do to hit that. If your goal is to sell cars, your goal is to sell 10 cars, you sell 10 cars, you do what you got to do. But for some reason, our bodies, our health, those things sit on the back burner. And I actually had a conversation with two of my clients, and we were talking about how things that are cheap don't take precedence. And when you think about your health, it's something that you impact with everything that you do, but it costs you nothing until you get sick. If you think about what happens, if you get something for free, you're less likely to cherish it or hold on to it. If you go out and you paid for it, if you went out and you got a $500 watch and somebody gave it to you, it's like, oh, well, easy come, easy go. I lost it. It sucks that I lost it, but it was $500. If it's your $500 watch and you went out and you worked for it and you earned it and everything else, you pay a lot more attention to where it is. You're less likely to lose it. It's more at the forefront of your mind. Oh, I took it off over here. What is it? And that's what people don't really think about with their health, because your health is something that's very dynamic and very cost efficient. If you just change the fuel that you put in your body, instantly your body starts to feel better. And you can't forget your body because it's always with you. But you got to take care of it. You got to basically put the time and the work in to make sure that your body runs smoothly and fluidly. So big things to focus on. Be selfish. Invest in yourself. I know a lot of people think that it's only been a matter of time. It's only been doing this for a year for free, and now it's saying buy stuff. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying invest in yourself. Enter things like the 60-day challenge. Enter things that do have a small fee. Not necessarily go out and get a trainer, not necessarily go out and do all these things, purchase all this stuff, but do things that will cause you to have to invest in your person. A lot of reasons why people fail is, yes, they go out and they get a gym membership. A gym membership does nothing for you if you do not enter the club. Paul said this the best the other day. Whose responsibility is it to make sure you get a good workout? Your trainer, they show up. And if your trainer's not showing up, fire them. But your trainer's going to show up. They're going to give you a workout. They're going to put you through it. If you're not feeling like that was a good workout, did you say anything? Did you say, hey, this is too easy? Hey, you know what? I feel like I should be going heavier over here. Hey, I should probably be adjusting the weight on this or whatever else. If you didn't give that kind of feedback to your trainer, then how is your trainer supposed to know that that was too easy? Yeah, you could say it was too easy. What part of it was too easy? This hurts is also something people use a lot. Well, this hurts. Okay, so we start backing down. The reason why we back down is very simple. Pain is not necessarily a good thing. But if you're saying this hurts and it burns, well, that's a communication error. So, again, you don't have to run out and get a trainer, but be responsible to yourself. Invest in yourself. That doesn't mean go out and buy a whole bunch of new workout clothes or anything like that, because that investment is temporary. You go out, you buy some workout clothes, you wear them once, twice at the gym, and now you're like, oh, well, I can wear these around the house. I'm just kicking around the house anyhow. I might as well just keep these on. We just lost the Facebook feed, so if any of you guys are watching on Facebook, I'm sorry. I'll put this video on there later on. But keep in mind, as you go through it, you want to make sure that you're doing the best thing for your body. And again, investing in a new pair of sneakers doesn't mean anything. There's no goal with having a new pair of sneakers. Yeah, I can go out and run a pair. I'm going to run in my new sneakers, and I'm going to feel a ton better. I'm going to feel a lot more energetic. My legs aren't going to feel as bad when I get to running. But if I run once or twice, that's that. So when you set a goal and you enter a challenge, whether you're entering a triathlon, marathon, Spartan race, bodybuilding competition, figure competition, bikini competition, there's something on the line there. And that's not saying that everyone has to do those things, but enter a challenge that's going to allow you to get from point A to point B and keep you accountable. The biggest reason why people give up on their goals is because they set a goal and they set no deadlines, they set no time frames, they don't set anything about it. They don't invest in it either. It's very easy for someone to turn around and say, hey, my goal is to lose 20 pounds. The statement costs nothing. Hearing that statement costs nothing. There's no buy-in, there's no loss. So it is something to consider when you see these things, like all these places have these challenges. Lifetime has a challenge, it's called the 60-day challenge, but they have them all over the place. And it doesn't have to be the 6-day challenge. Like I said, it could be a marathon, it could be a triathlon, it could be, I want to swim from, I want to swim the English Channel, I want to swim from England to France. Cool, that's your challenge, that's your commitment. There is a test at the end of that challenge. So think about classes, think about college, think about high school, think about any class that you've ever taken. Usually at the end of the class, there's a test to test your information, test your knowledge. Maybe it's a skills test. But either way, there's a test. If you do martial arts, there's a test out to see if you advance. There's nothing that we do in this world that doesn't come with a test at the end of it. Anything that's education has a test. Anything that is self-development, there's a test. And that test really indicates whether or not you're performing at your best, whether or not you're performing at your peak. So what we want to do is make sure that we are performing at our peaks, we are performing at our bests. And how do we do that? We test it. Don't just go into any challenge or competition and say, hey, this is what I want to do. Go in, do it wholeheartedly. Don't just say you want to lose weight, prove it. This is one of the biggest complications we have in the fitness industry, because right now someone's watching this, and that person that's watching this will say, hey, you know what? I went to Anthony for help and I didn't get success. Well, there's two problems with that. If you haven't come in and actually met with me face-to-face, this isn't going to me for help. This is getting information. This is strictly educational. The information that I give on here is all useful information, and if you stuck to it, you'd actually see a lot of success. Today, not so much, because we're just kind of going into why we set our goals and why we hold those goals and why we're more selfish with those goals. But the big thing is, you have to get something from everything that you do. And if you don't invest in yourself, and don't take care of yourself, and you don't put yourself as a priority, you're never going to get there. What that means is if you're not prioritizing yourself, sleep, you're not prioritizing your sleep, no one else is going to sleep for you. And the other thing is, no one cares if you're tired. And it sounds harsh, and I know the next few things I'm going to say are going to sound harsh, but if you wake up in the morning and you have to be at work at 8 a.m., and you walk in and you tell your boss you're tired, they don't care. They may show some empathy, yeah, I'm tired as well. They don't care. Deep down, you have a job to do. Being tired, not being tired doesn't matter. If you have a test and you walk in and you tell the teacher, pull an all-nighter, they don't care. They don't care that you're tired. So it's your responsibility to make sure that you get enough sleep. If you're hungry, I didn't eat enough, or I've been, trying to stick to this kind of diet, that kind of diet, I've been restricting this, restricting that. People will sympathize with you because they've done something like it, but they don't care in the sense of they're not going through it. They're not existing with that. That's a you problem. It's not an us problem. It's not a planetary problem. It's not a universal problem. The sun is, moving towards us at an accelerated rate, and we're all going to be burned alive. That's an us problem. We care about that problem. I don't know if that's actually happening or not. Someone can comment down here and let me know. But there's a lot of things that happen that are very individualized for you. I didn't get enough sleep. I didn't prepare my meals. I didn't get a good workout. Those are all you problems. So the only person who cares about those things is you. I mean, like I said, we all empathize with you. We can sympathize with you. But at the end of the day, your sleep doesn't impact me. Your hunger doesn't impact me. It may impact your quality of workout when you're seeing me. It may impact your focus when we're meeting for a nutrition session, but it doesn't really impact me. And that's what people need to realize, because the only person whose goals are impacted by their actions is you. So again, if that means, hey, we're all going out to lunch and we're going to McDonald's for lunch, and your goal is weight loss, your goal is to be fitter, your goal is to be healthier, your goal is to stop eating so much fast food. We go to McDonald's for lunch. It's not my fault that you ordered a Big Mac. No, I just drove to it. Lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink. Well, we led you to the water and you chose to drink. It's not the worst thing that you could have done. It's not the best thing you could have done. There's other options there. What does the rest of your day look like? So even that, with something like that where you fall off, you go to McDonald's, what does the rest of your day look like? Being selfish also means getting back on track when you've fallen off. This is another problem that people have, because now, using that example, we went to lunch for McDonald's. Instead of having a better choice for dinner, it's like, okay, well, let's just have a pizza for dinner. I already went to crap for lunch, so let's do pizza. It's not the way it works. Nutrition is 80% of your success, and nutrition only has to be 100% 80% of the time. I know, confusing. But if 80% of the time you're doing the right things for your body, you're eating the right way, you're taking care of yourself the right way, then 20% of the time you could be as horrible as you want. What's 20%? Well, if you're eating 3 times a day, 7 days a week, it's 21 meals. If you have 20%, so if you have 4 crappy meals, so lunch is bad every day during the week, but breakfast is good, dinner's good, it's 80% of the time you're eating well. Now, not saying you should do that, but it's going to happen. It's inevitable that'll happen. So work on that. Get back on when you fall off. If you fall off on Monday and you're like, screw it, I'm just going to have a bad day because Anthony said I could have 4 meals, that's 80% of my day, that's awesome. So you had a crappy day on Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you were perfectly fine. Sunday, you fall off again. Cool. What do you do next? What is your next step? That's where people kind of have to start realizing that selfishness is important. Because if you have a goal and you want to go someplace for lunch, don't fall into the whole game of, well, what do you want for lunch? Where do you want to go? This is where I'm going. Do you want to come or not? That's on everyone else. Because now you've taken away the let's try and appease somebody. This is where I'm going. That may mean you have to eat lunch alone, which, let's be honest, it's not the worst thing. But think about that. When it comes time, because lunchtime is going to happen every single day. It's 12:20 right now, which means somebody's eating lunch right now, maybe even watching this and eating lunch.